What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is JP, I am a truck driver, and today, after a very long day yesterday, we're finally going to go to Denver, Colorado. I went up to US cold storage after dropping off some beer, and I was there for 7 hours and 18 minutes. My appointment was for 3 o'clock. I got on the door at 2:45, and they didn't get me out of there until 10:03 p.m. In at 2:45, out 20:03. So as promised, US cold storage, which is interesting because I've been there before several times and they've never taken this long, and they gave me zero explanation, and you know, they don't care. So I burned half my day just sitting, and decided, you know what, I'm not gonna make the appointment, so I'm just gonna go home. They can reschedule it, I'll head out tomorrow. So just finished up my pre-trip, and I'm also going to cover some of the things that I like and don't like after having the Western Star for almost 3 months. We're up to 27,285, so just over 27,000 miles that I've had it, and almost 3 months. So I am going to cover some of the things that I do like and don't like, and I feel like I can give a pretty fair review. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've recorded a video. I went to New York for almost a week. And then I came back, and then I got a really bad staph infection in my leg, which took me out of commission for another week. So that was really rather unfortunate. And another kind of life hack that I've done for truck driving, and I don't know if this is necessarily a life hack, but I don't know that I've ever seen anybody else do this. But before I went to New York, knowing that it was probably going to be hot, we were going to be doing a lot of walking, we didn't really want to carry water bottles, I actually got, I don't know if you can see it, but I got a 3-liter Camelback. And so what I've done is just made it so that the chest strap goes around the seat, and then I have the hose while I'm rolling down the road. That way, you know, I don't have to worry about cup holders or water bottles flying all over the place or any of that crap. And it holds 3 liters, so that's about what you should be drinking every day. It's got a nice wide opening, so you can throw ice in it. Stays cool pretty much all day. After the first couple of days, it loses that kind of plasticky taste, if you've ever had a Camelback before. Just one of the things that I've kind of come up with to minimize my distractions while driving and not having to take my eyes off the road. So, all right, now let's go ahead and get rolling. We now interrupt this time lapse to scale the truck because I didn't do it yesterday. Now the paperwork says that the load weighs about 34,500, thereabouts. And I know that this truck with a reefer weighs 35.5, and at the current fuel level, I'm going to venture a guess that it is going to weigh right in the region of 70,000, give or take 500. Let's just show you guys how this kind of works here. So it'll select your location. That's good. 13513. $12.50 to weigh the truck. Ain't that that something? Hey, look at that. 70,220. It's legal. I'm under the 1234.34. I'm not going to worry about it. So let's just go ahead and get back on the road. So, if you might notice, I did end up replacing the windshield wipers with some Bosch wipers. These are the Icons 22-inch. The standard wipers are only 20 inches, but I had enough clearance to get an inch more on either side. That way I actually have more visibility when the windshield wipers are wiping, and you know, they work pretty darn well, I think. As far as the AC goes in this truck, when you're rolling down the road, it's fantastic. Stays nice and cold, blows strong. It'll keep you cool on a hot day. Like right now, it's showing 91 degrees outside. But, and I'm sure that this is true of a lot of semi-trucks, when you're just sitting somewhere and idling the truck, and even in high idle, the AC gets hot and doesn't really cool you off. So that is kind of a downer. And the bunk AC is not the best. I found that the best results that I get to cool down the bunk area is when you're rolling down the road and you know you're going to be going somewhere, close your curtain and seal it up, and then turn on the bunk AC on high, and then it'll keep it pretty cool back there for a while, which is nice. But otherwise, this truck is not outfitted with an APU, auxiliary power unit, to kind of power the AC and all that other stuff when the truck is shut off. It's basically like a small little diesel engine type thingy that, you know, it can run your AC and some of your electric stuff and whatnot, so that you're not relying on the battery. But yeah, AC, rolling down the road, fantastic, ice cold, even on 100-degree days. But when you're parked somewhere, and you're gonna be hot and sweaty and sticky, which is unfortunate. But the other thing too is the seats. I'll give you kind of a more in-depth look at those a little bit later. But they're this, like, I don't know if it's real leather or pleather or what it is, but if you are the type of person that gets sweaty, you're probably gonna hate these seats, because there's no ventilation in them at all, and you basically just stick to it. Kind of like a leather sports car seat in that same regard. You get up and, you know, you got swamp ass and your back is sweaty and all that stuff. So I'll just periodically lean forward and, you know, just kind of let the air circulate around me and all that good stuff. The other thing too is these are really light colored seats that kind of match the kind of gray motif of the interior, and so they get dirty very, 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 very easily, which is again unfortunate, but nothing that you can't take care of with a little bit of cleaner and, you know, a towel or whatever. Fuel consumption, now this is the Detroit diesel DD15. This one is spec'd at 505 horsepower with 1850 torque, coupled to the 13-speed manual. Across the time that I've been running it, over the 27,000 plus miles over the last couple of months now, I've hauled everything from sailboat fuel, which, if you don't know, is air, meaning an empty trailer, all the way up to, I think my heaviest so far has been 79.5, and that was in a reefer loaded with beer. And my fuel economy Peterbilt 579, and I honestly feel dirty just saying that. That to me is one of the worst words you could possibly say. Peterbilt. Or Packard for that matter. And my best in that, and that was equipped with the Cummins X15 Efficiency Series and the DT12 automatic, or auto shift if you will. And the best I ever got out of that was 7 or 7.1. Does having an auto, really do anything as far as fuel economy? I mean, yeah, I suppose so. But you have to keep in mind, I'm constantly going up and down hills and mountain passes. Like right now, I'm about to go up Parley's Canyon, and I mean, that just nukes your fuel economy no matter what truck you're in, especially if you're heavy. I mean, if I was on flat and I was just traveling through, yeah, absolutely, I could probably get better fuel economy. But going up and down mountain passes and up and down hills and all that other stuff, I mean, it's, especially with a manual, and I wanted a manual, so I knew that I wouldn't be able to get nearly as good a fuel economy. And coupled with the fact that this has 100-gallon tanks instead of the 125s that were in the 579, my longest fill up, or time between fill ups, was about 1,100 miles. Currently averaging 6.7, so that's what fuel economy is kind of like in this thing. One thing I did encounter once is when I was heading back through Wyoming, and I had one really nasty headwind, and it actually did manage to knock the mirror bracket out of its little detent that it sits in to secure it, because with the headwind plus the speed that I was traveling, it was a lot of wind resistance, so it did fold back, and I did need to pull over and readjust them. I did get them tightened down a little bit more, so I seem to have fixed that problem. You'll also notice that this truck does not have the hood mirrors, and the Peterbilt did have those. I honestly feel like not having them makes you a little bit better of a driver, because you have to be more aware of your surroundings and focus more. Somebody did mention in the last video that I did not cover the upper bunk, or not in the last video, 2 videos before. I did not cover the upper bunk area. I run solo, so I don't utilize that area at all, but I'll feature that here when I get to my destination. We're going over to Kroger in Denver, King Soopers, and so I might be there a while. They sometimes don't have the quickest time for getting on a door, or finished the drive. I got checked in at King Soopers in Denver at 9:28 p.m. Took them about 2 hours to get me a door assignment, and they finally finished unloading me and got me my paperwork at about 6:45 this morning. Fortunately, the guy was very understanding. He said that things got all screwed up, so he put 0700 on the paperwork. So between the 7 hours and 18 minutes it took to load me, and according to the paperwork, the 9 hours and 32 minutes it took to unload me, that's a total of 16 hours and 50 minutes. So just round that up to 17 hours. So US cold storage, as I mentioned, and King Soopers has now taken the #1 spot for the longest it has ever taken me to get loaded or unloaded, at over 9 hours. Luckily for me, anything over 2 hours is detention pay. I was up most of the night, reefer running, trucks next to me idling, and it was extremely hard for me to fall asleep. I do have notes here though for follow-up. Okay, so one of the other things about the Western Star, the armrests on the seat, they're not height adjustable, and they're way down here. And they lock in place when you click them up, but once they're clicked up, you have to put it all the way back and then all the way back down. And it's not height adjustable this way, so that's kind of annoying. Somebody requested I show you guys that. Let me flip this down. It comes off with this little seat belt latch doodly doo. So I don't have a mattress up here, but this is basically what it looks like. There's straps to, I guess, hold down a mattress. Looks like they Velcro? No, wait, yeah, they Velcro. So that's kind of nice. So that's what that looks like up here. It's definitely smaller in all dimensions than the bottom bed. And the last thing, what was it? Hang on. Seat. Oh yeah, the seat. So the seat does get dirty. I don't know if it'll come through on camera very well,